Hey folks, good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. We are live here at Sycamore Crossing. Now, we have the camera going a different direction. This morning I got the Broken Bull back here. Sounds like we got a dumpster. They're emptying a dumpster somewhere in downtown Blue Ridge, and that's the great thing about our Friday show. We are live, and we call it downtown. We call it small town America starting up in the morning. We bring you all the little noises. You know, you may hear the train whistle, you may hear the bell, construction sound, weed eaters, you name it. But we power through it because we enjoy right here every Friday morning listening to Small Town America start up. Okay, so I was not here last week, so quick shout out to Lauren Hunter and everyone for a great job. Appreciate it very much. But it's good to be back. We have at 8:05, we have Ask the Doc, or in a couple minutes here, Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We'll move right into the All-Star Political Panel with Jane, Rick, and Joeen is joining us today. Bruce is still off visiting family and friends, so Joeen will visit, and we want to give a big shout out for Richie coming up last week and joining us. So Joeen will be with us on the couch, right? We have our own couch. It's nice here. And then after that, we'll have North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall and Ella J. And we always round out our show with the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, the Pet of the Week. And yes, this will be the last show before 4th of July. So I think we're going to do a lot of talking about the 4th of July. A great, no matter where you're at, it's going to be a great, exciting week. We always love the 4th of July Independence Day events. And let's see what else we have. Now, next Thursday will be the 4th of July. We will be here Friday morning. Okay, yes we are. We're going to do a show next Friday, July 5th, right here at Sycamore Crossing. And we might plan some special things considering the 4th of July weekend to do next week on the show. All right, so we got to move along. We got to ask the doc in here. We had 2 nights of 20 candidates, 10 on each night, Democrat debate. I think we have a lot to talk about. Healthcare. Are they ever going to get it? Are they ever going to get it right? Are they ever going to go for the real problems? Are they ever going to discuss what they want to call? They like to call them kitchen table issues. Are they ever going to discuss the real kitchen table issues in healthcare? I was a little confused last night listening to maybe 15 minutes of a debate, if not 10, in a discussion in illegals, defining when you're illegal and not illegal. So if you're illegally crossed the border, candidates want to, the next president, if a Democrat wants to make it where you're not illegal. And then they want to give you health care. Interesting. You know, and then last night, or the last couple nights in healthcare, I want to stay with that for a minute. I want to take that one subject, because that's what they will push during the presidential campaign, healthcare. And they'll throw out, they're doing all the testing now. You know, they're doing the product placement testing that they do in these focus groups. And they'll throw out pre-existing conditions, okay? And we'll hear that because we keep hearing that. And then we'll hear... in the last 2 nights, they want to make it to where health care doesn't cause you to have to go bankrupt. Everybody glosses over the President of the United States saying he's tired of surprise billing, okay? Now, this almost came up in the debate, but when a solution, an actual solution comes up, or a real problem to discuss, they move right along. How many of you spend more time with your doctor when your doctor wants to refer you for something, finding out if somebody's in your network? Right? Who talks about that? Why, I want you to go for this testing, and then it takes almost a full day of your life to find out who's in your network and all of your deductibles. Have you heard surprise billing? Right? surprise billing. The president says he will stop that in this country. What is surprise billing? Well, there may be several things that contribute to it, but you get your bill and you start going down through there and you get a test or a doctor's bill, and you say, why is this not covered under my insurance? Oh, they're not in your network. So you mean when I went to Atlanta to this radiologist and this specialist, why didn't anybody tell me? Because you know what? We should have doctors concerned with the care of their patient, and trust me, doctors want to be concerned with the care of their patient. We should have patients, you and I, being able to go to our doctors, go for the testing, not have to take a day off work to find out who's in our network, who's available. Oh, we're in your network, but it'll be 7 to 8 months before we can see you. I need somebody. My doctor said I need to go see somebody in the next couple weeks. Oh, I could see you tomorrow, but you're not in my network. It's a mess, folks. It's an actual mess. And in the last 2 nights, if you think you heard anybody out of 20 candidates tell you anything that even comes close to a solution, please send it to me, because I didn't hear it. But the President of the United States, every single day, my friend, he gets up and he tries to look for a solution to a problem, but the media will not let it break through what they want you to hear. I'm going to ask the All-Star panel why the President's words at the Faith and Freedom Coalition this past week concerning abortion, why they didn't take that and ask the candidates last night if they feel what Ralph Northam said in Virginia crosses the line of abortion and is actually an execution. We'll talk about that. Sorry, my opinion, what a joke. There's 4 hours I can't get back in my life, right? But that's my own fault. I'm going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Dr. William Whaley. It's time for Ask the Doc. We got a lot going on this morning. We're going to have a lot of fun here at Sycamore Crossing, downtown Blue Ridge. Take us a break, Josh.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella-J next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella-J next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ella-J, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we are live here at Sycamore Crossing in downtown Blue Ridge. It is now time for Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Research, affiliated with Northside Hospital. Dr. Whaley, we love these Friday mornings, do we not? Is it beautiful?
It's great. I want to make the viewers out there, if you are disoriented into time, place, person, and situation, which is the earliest sign of Alzheimer's disease, by the setup here today, don't be disoriented. It says the right time, it's the right person, it's the right situation, it's even the right plate, but this is a 180-degree change on the view, so now you get to see the stores over here instead of the town and the people out there because of the new furniture. I just wanted to explain why you had a new setup today.
Well, I tell you what, we have in the second segment the sun, if you know, depending on the weather, the sun will start coming in, and we got to make shifts, and this works out. So I just thought this morning I came up here, this is absolutely beautiful, and I thought we'd just turn it around. We'd try.
Well, now you're giving it a practical explanation, and I was trying to give it an artistic explanation. You didn't ask me about this.
Well, I'm getting there, but you went off and said, if you think BKP's delusional, I can tell. If you think he's delusional this morning, there's an answer to that. Dr. Whaley, tell me a little bit about your tie. You have several flags on that tie, so tell us about that.
Well, I usually wear just my American flag.
Right.
Why would I be wearing a multinational flag?
Because the president is at the G20?
Absolutely. He's standing up to the rest of the people on this flag today.
Okay.
And he's meeting with 8 people today. 8, I think. Or 8 in the next 2 days, one-on-one, to do what you said this morning. He wakes up in the morning and he tries to think, if it's not playing golf down in Florida, what can I do today to make a better America? So I'm wearing that for you, Mr. President, and I hope you have a real good talk with the Chinese, and I hope you have a good talk with Mr. Putin, and I've already seen you had your talk with the Japanese, so good luck.
Well, you know, he is on the world stage. I think he does well. I think he represents us well. I don't think the world leaders dislike him as much as our media wants us to believe they do.
I don't believe they do at all.
Right, I don't believe that.
Macron and people like that, you know, I think they have a deep respect for him on the one hand and wish he wouldn't tweet so much on the other.
But we have now. You can continue to go on with this subject, but
we have questions.
We have the all-star political panel. Now, don't get me riled up.
Yeah, I can't do that. No,
and I have a whole group that's getting ready to get riled up.
I know. I'm glad to tell you about the shirt and
yes,
disoriented the time, place, person.
Well, I want to thank you for respecting that our president of the United States is traveling at this time and speaking with world leaders, and we should respect that and wait to hear exactly the outcome.
And you did ask me about the Jersey Shore. I was right smack in the middle of more pinko, commie.
I gave you a chance to go on.
Left-wing people watching those debates. I watched about 10 minutes, and I had to get my book and go out and sit on the porch. And they were sucking that stuff up like honey. But, well, y'all talk to the all-star panel about that.
All right.
All right, so I know the first question.
All right, I know somebody was probably stomping around the kitchen, but we'll hold that for later.
My sister drinks an excessive amount. Doesn't just tell you what an excessive amount is, does it? Eyes of the beholder. Of diet sodas every day and almost no water. Could this be a contributor to her recent cancer diagnosis? Now, not what type of cancer.
Let me just say this. I want to double down on what you just said. Excessive. I wish, this is my turn. I'm not the doctor here, but I wish you would have told us what you felt was excessive.
That's what I mean.
I know, right?
Okay,
I'm doing pretty good. I'm learning
great.
after all these years.
I'm pulling it out of you.
Right.
And what kind of cancer she had.
Exactly.
Okay. Is this something that could have potentially been prevented had she not drank? That's not the right word, but we will let that go up here in the mountains. Drank so many of them a day for years? And the answer to that question is essentially no. But we're going to spend the next 15 minutes putting to rest, for the people that'll listen to advice and to take science and make opinions on it, and you know, if they saw a moon rock, would believe we probably landed on the moon. All right, put that first one up there. This one question goes back to a prior study done in 1976, never replicated, where artificial sweetener, which at that time was only saccharin, was given to a specific species of laboratory rat and was associated with an increase in bladder cancer in those laboratory rats. Now, I'm going to come back to that again in a minute. One small study, never replicated. Show that first one. I was really kind of shocked at this one. This talks about artificial sweeteners in the United States in millions of dollars, but it takes these and lays them by brand name. Now, I didn't even know what Splenda was, but apparently Splenda is a big old box of stuff that's sold in the grocery store that you can use in the place of sugar in a recipe. When you talk about artificial sweeteners, my whole world is wrapped up in that can right there of artificial sweeteners, because I don't put any artificial sweetener in my tea or my coffee or anything like that. But apparently, this doesn't even make the list. The next one's Truvia. I didn't even know anything about Truvia. Now, when you get to sweet and low and equal, that's the two I've heard of. At least, when you go to the barbecue joint, you get some tea and they bring you the little thing of artificial sweetener, which I don't use. It's got the equal and the sweet and low in there. So when the question is written about these drinks, but in terms of the consumption of artificial sweeteners in this country, it's not these drinks at all. It's these products, and the majority of the artificial sweetener that you get every day is in food that you eat, that you bought in the grocery store, not that you made yourself. So even though you blame and see this in people's hands, that is only a tiny portion of the artificial sweetener they're getting. Go to this next one here, because it's got a little, it focuses on part of the unwritten part of the question. This, just look at this center in the middle, the relationship between diabetes and sweeteners. Now, the conspiracy theorists that you have on your expert panel would tell you that the sweet in the sweetener artificially tells your pancreas that you got sugar on board, and your pancreas is going to make insulin, and that's going to give you pre-diabetes, and on and on and on and on and on. Totally unsupported and fallacious science. Okay,
you stay in trouble, don't you, Matt?
I do, yes, I do. But he's probably showering now and not watching. Okay.
Right.
Now let's get to the next one, which is basically, this is carcinogens that are known, not debated, worldwide. Everybody's going to agree. You got that risky business one up now? All right, so if you take this, we've had this before, or generations of it, the relative contribution to cancer incidence, 35% of cancers that are caused by something that you can hang your hat on are caused by
tobacco use.
I'll be darned. And then the 20% are caused by
overweight, obesity.
Whoa, man, that's two things that are under your control, right?
Yes.
Obesity and tobacco. Now, you get into pathogens, inactive physical activity. I suppose you can put that one on top of diabetes. Diet, you notice it's the hamburger and the fried stuff.
Right.
We talked about the steaks on the grill before. Industrial exposure. We're going to come back to that again in a minute, but that would be asbestos that the construction worker got. Alcohol's way down the list, so it doesn't make me feel too bad about the single malt scotch. And then the other factors out there of lesser amount, but you're not going to find artificial sweeteners in there at all. You don't see it, do you?
No.
All right, so now we're going to get to the cancer. This next one is bladder cancer. We're going to spend a little time on this one. Here are the things that are known to contribute to the development of bladder cancer. You got that one up there. It's got the genetics thing in the middle and the little man at the bottom. Let's go to chemical exposure at work. When I first went into practice, there was over in Villa Rica, Georgia, a Goodyear tire plant, and they made tires. There was in the very next town over there a belt plant that made these big old rubber belts, like in factories that haul the coal up or whatever.
Yes.
Or you see in a post office that you throw
Yes.
things up. Well, those two
belts on a conveyor.
Belts on a conveyor, yeah. Well, both of those are made out of rubber, and there was a chemical process for the preparation of rubber to be made into things that had clear-cut carcinogistic activity against the bladder. And you would have tons of bladder cancer in those environments. And it was in the 60s and 70s that they began to recognize what that process was, and they changed the way they made rubber and brought that out of the process. But it took another 40 years. I mean, I've seen my last case of bladder cancer related to working in a factory making tires only about 5 years ago, because they stopped doing that in the 70s, and you stop and think about it, those guys are about dead now. Now, the next one that we ought to spend a little time to, lifestyle. Tobacco is a very big one, and now is probably the biggest single known carcinogistic causation of bladder cancer, but arsenic in water. You remember last week when we were talking about, the week before, no, it was last week when I was with, no, it was the week before that when you were here. We were talking about bottled water,
yes.
And they pulled all the bottled water that Walmart had off the shelves, and that Canada Dry had on the shelves because of how much arsenic was in bottled water that you're buying because you think it's safe. The amount of arsenic in the bottled water that was pulled off the shelves is sufficient to cause an increase in bladder cancer. Okay.
Why would there be arsenic in bottled water?
Because
I know that's a separate question, but
well, number one, most of that bottled water comes out of city water supplies and not out of artesian wells, but arsenic is in the ground.
right,
And
okay,
if it
all
did
right.
come out of an artesian well or out of a stream somewhere that was contaminated with arsenic, that's where it came from, or from fertilizer. All right, the next one, and we'll get off of this cancer in a minute, is liver cancers. Got the next one up there? Oh, wait, let's stick with the. We'll just leave it up there, but we're going to stick with the bladder just a minute. So I said that saccharin caused cancer in a specific strain of mice, not all mice, in 1972, 3, 4, sometime like that. Saccharin was pulled off the market. The study was attempted to be replicated, and they learned that specific species of mice had a biochemical process going on in their body that handles saccharin different than other species of mice and totally different from any other species of people, white people or animals. And so they have repeatedly tried by every other method to link artificial sweeteners with bladder cancer and with liver cancer, which I'll come up to, and the answer is no, it doesn't. But it took a while to learn that those bladder cancer species of mice had a particular susceptibility to saccharin because of the biochemical thing that they had. And then back to the liver cancer, which is this last one, we'll get off of it. Once again, smoking, right there, big. And everybody knows alcohol use is not good. But what I wanted to get to was this preventable thing at the left-hand top here. The biggest one that really exists today is hepatitis B and hepatitis C infection. Hepatitis B, children are supposed to be immunized against now before they go to school. I think that I forget what, but it is a immunization that you're supposed to get. And hepatitis C infection, you get. Where do you get the hepatitis C infection?
I'm not for sure. I'm not paying.
Gosh,
where do you
get the hepatitis C infection? You get it from a needle that you either had a drug on or you get it from a tattoo parlor.
Well, that would probably be the reason I don't know where you would get
Yeah,
it.
because you haven't got one. So prison tattoos that are done in the home, but many
Prison tats.
prison tats.
Yeah, just
But
not
many of the
tattoo. We don't put tattoo on it.
But many of the tats that are done here in the mountains are done by my cousin at the house. And not done at the
right.
studio. Well, even at the studio, the dye can be contaminated even if they do a good job of sterilizing the needle. So it's an encouragement, and I would like to encourage the parents to say, look, it's my house, my bat, my ball, my rules. When you are fully emancipated, you're out of high school or out of college, and I'm through paying your way, if you want to go get a tat, fine. But I see 14 and 12-year-old kids around here with tats, and I think it's better if somebody's going to get a tat, let them be, as we used to say, free and 21, and be able to make that judgment. So that's the risk factor.
You know, when you brought that up and you said that, Dr. Whaley, I mean, I just drew a blank. I mean, I don't know how you would go get it. I wouldn't think it, but once you get into the conversation, tattoos, I've seen several. I have seen, several reports where, like you said, ink the needles, whatever, all the above that are contributing to hepatitis
Yeah, and
C.
just the seat that they sit in at the tattoo parlor.
Right.
I mean, it is not inspected like the office, like our office.
Right.
When you leave the room, they go through everything in that room where the visitor was sitting, and they wipe them down between every patient.
Right.
Anyway, so
I get it though, but I mean that's great information, because right now, I mean, I'm not going to go down that road. I personally don't have any tattoos. Not gonna.
No.
Not my time to place the judgment.
No.
But we are in a society, and we are at a time where young people, that's what they want to do.
Right.
Okay.
But I said once again, Mama, let them get their tattoo after you're through supporting them. Either been emancipated at 18, or if they're in college, get emancipated at 21. But don't let them get it while they're still living in your house and you're still in charge, even if you've got tattoos yourself.
Okay.
Make an adult judgment after they become adults. So, back to the question. This question was not very well written because we don't know what the definition of excessive diet soda was. We don't know what type of cancer she had, and we don't know how old the sister was. But at the end of the day, diet sodas and the artificial sweeteners, which are by far, as I showed, the most. If you drink 3 of these a day, that's probably 3% or 5% of the diet of the artificial sweetener you're getting, because everything you buy in the store that says sugar-free or low-cal or everything else is sweetened with those other sweeteners that I showed.
Right,
on that
exactly.
chart. So this is the most tiny part of artificial sweetener you're going to get in a day.
All right.
All right. Now we got a great one coming up now.
First of all, I want to thank the North Georgia Cancer Research Center affiliated with Northside Hospital for these segments. We appreciate them very much. And every week, Dr. Whaley takes on 2 questions. Then at the end of those questions, he shares the most updated medical information going on in the week. So what's our second question?
All right.
He has large print. I love it. I love it.
Well, you weren't wearing your glasses when we started.
He printed it out. He's got large print.
All right. I have recently started having to go to the bathroom after almost every meal. Not to the point that my stomach is torn up, but it's nearly immediately after eating. Could this mean that I have IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome? And I will say, first of all, that when somebody asks, can something be, the answer is always yes. I mean, there's no guarantees that anything is or isn't. But we went through this once before in some detail, and clearly this question, as Josh says, follows a comment I made a couple of weeks ago about what is the normal frequency of bowel movements. And I asked Josh that morning, and I don't think the expert panel was here, but I will ask the single member of the expert panel over there, what is the normal frequency of bowel movements? Just a quick. Okay, he says 2.
Could you ask your friend to turn their car off? There it is. I didn't know what was roaring in my head, the car or the normal roaring I have. I got to differentiate. Sorry to interrupt you.
The normal frequency of bowel movements is the gastrocolic reflex. Every time your stomach fills, your colon empties. So if you look at a baby, a bird, or a puppy dog, they eat and they poot. So this patient describes normal bowel habits. I go to the bathroom after almost every meal. Now, generally when that baby is being toilet trained, and it's a female, she learns to block that reflex, because when they're outside the home and mother's got a pre-verbal little girl and she goes poo-poo, pee-pee, and they're at a filling station or a store, and mama takes her into the bathroom, she either holds her up in the air over the toilet so that she's moving the target, or she covers the toilet seat with a half a pound of toilet paper, and that pre-verbal child learns that going to the bathroom outside the home has got something wrong with it, so they clamp down when they leave the home and they relax when they get back. and it affects both stool and urine, and that's why women will hold their pee too, and they get more bladder infections. Now, little boys, if he says pee, daddy just pulls the car over to the side of the road and the little boy pees in the ditch. So boys don't get quite as much pre-verbal understanding that that going into the bathroom outside the home is not natural. Flipping back to IBS, irritable bowel syndrome affects 25% of the people in this country that are over the age of 50. So IBS is a very common condition. It's about a third to a half of the reasons that patients are ended up being referred to a gastroenterologist. So the question really is a two-part question. IBS, what do we know about IBS, and is this a symptom of IBS? And the answer is basically not. Josh, let's go to that next question. Now, to be IBS is going to be chronic abdominal pain, a change in caliber generally of stool, and clear-cut constipation, clear-cut diarrhea, or alternating. So this first one is just a clock. And the clock, if you look at the bottom, says, what's the normal frequency of bowel movements? And there you're going to see the guy ate breakfast and then sometimes later had a bowel movement. He ate lunch and sometimes later he had a bowel movement in the afternoon, and he could have had one after he had the evening meal. So if you go to this next one, which is a calendar, if it says frequency of stool at the bottom, 3 in a day, that's healthy. 2 in a day, that's healthy. That's like you've learned now to obliterate the natural history. Every other day is the constipated woman who eats too little fiber, but there's nothing that's substantially unhealthy about it. But the people who say I have 2 in a week, that is substantially unhealthy. So now we're going to go back to the discussion we had several months ago. If you take biologically pure African population living in South Carolina, Daufuskie Island, and places of that sort, and compare high blood pressure, hemorrhoid, diverticulosis frequency with their parentage in Africa and with the progeny in the 60s and 70s in South Carolina, the incidence of colon cancer, high blood pressure, diverticulosis was all dramatically higher in the genetically pure group that was living in the United States. Because in Africa, they ate tubers and roots and a whole bunch of sweet potatoes, I guess you'd say. And they would have 200, 300, 500 grams of stool a day, which means a pound, whereas the average American would have 100 grams a day, which would be about the size of a little bitty hot dog. So the more fiber you eat, then you're going to have more of this 2 or 3 bowel movements a day frequency. And lastly, we're going to show this poo chart here, and I'll let you take this home with you because Josh went over it and he learned a whole bunch from it. But this is and Jane sometimes says that our dogs have separate little lumps like nuts or looks like a sausage or a hot dog, and this applies to the dogs. But basically there is a chart like this that your family doctor can give you when you're talking about your bowel habit, and you'll be able to get some sense of how your fiber intake, the frequency of stool, and how it looks when it's passed, and how safe that is or is not. So that's about all you need to know about pooping and about
the takeaway for me is I have a poo chart for the afternoon to look over, so thank you for that. I never adult, but I do have a question. I want to double down on this. I don't want to walk away from this without one thing. So in that question is the body of irritable bowel syndrome.
Right.
So the way it's described, you don't see this individual as having irritable bowel syndrome.
Not, no.
But briefly, what is irritable bowel system?
Okay, well,
I think that's important. Let's go with that.
25% of the American population over age 50
right
has irritable bowel syndrome. 25%. So we got over.
What's the how do you identify that?
Chronic and recurrent abdominal pains.
Okay.
A change in bowel habit.
Okay.
So from normal 1, 2, or 3 a day, 5, 6, or 7 a day. If it's on the diarrhea end, there's a diarrhea end of irritable bowel, or down to 1 or 2 stools a week on the constipation end of irritable bowel, or a alternation. So you have 1 or 2 a week, and then you have 6 a day for a while, 1 or 2 a week, and you have 6 a day for a while. It has to go on longer than 90 days. But as I say, that is up to half of the referrals from the family practice doctor to the gastroenterologist. Because once you get to that situation, if you haven't had your routine colonoscopy at age 50, and again I said 25% of people over the age of 50, it's time for Dr. Tidman or Dr. Trigg or one of them to send you off for your colonoscopy and a consultation. So
well,
that's chronic abdominal pain, a significant change in bowel habit, and then taking that chart, which is the most important part, you're either down here at the bottom end, which is unhealthy, watery, no solid pieces, entirely liquid. It looks like get checked, it looks like pee. Or way up there at that end, you need to get it looked at.
Well, I never say, and all due respect, this is great information briefly, but I do have, I think I have one lady that's probably been stomping around the kitchen all week, and then I got another one over here that I know is all worked up, and Rick and I are just going to be in the shot, so, that's about how it's going to go. That's why I got to get, I see them over there. What is new happening out there, or what is information you want to make sure our viewers have?
We're gonna just rattle them right off because they all tie right up. Suicide rates are rising among teens. The very next one, energy drinks. Are they a quick pick-me-up or health hazard? The 1/3 of teens between 12 and 17 use them on a regular basis. All right? So now we got teens getting suicide. We got teens drinking energy drinks. San Francisco's the first city to ban e-cigarettes. We've already got to the e-cigarette nicotine in teens. And then the bottom one, young men putting health risk to bulk up. That's that testosterone,
right?
So those 4 things are in the top 6 this week, and they all reflect back to what we've been talking about for months. The energy drink use in a teenager interferes with their sleep. The e-cigarette nicotine bang interferes with their sleep. I've got to take something to make me good looking and strong interferes with their hormones. And lastly, what happens to that group of people at the very top, suicide rates among teens rises. One more time. Discipline, guys, discipline.
When we started this several years ago, I was aware that sleep is important, obviously. But since we started our segments together over the years, the things that interrupt our sleep, the things that don't allow us to get the good night's sleep that we need to function, like the kids need to turn the phones off, right? Yeah. Things like that.
No. Kids don't need to turn them off.
At night.
Mama needs to take them away.
Okay, got it.
8 o'clock at night and give them back after breakfast so that they're not even in the teen's room at night.
But, what I get at is like, all right, I got to get on to something else, but I get confused on, and I don't like to get generational, but when I was a kid, or young, okay, so I'm 20 years old, and I work construction. And we stopped by the 7-Eleven in the morning, and I got a cup of coffee, buttered roll, got back in the truck. We were on the construction site at 7:30. We worked. I don't want to get into it. I don't know how this sounds, all right? Don't take us wrong. We worked.
Yeah.
I mean, we ran.
You were too tired
All right.
to stay up all night.
But what I'm saying is, I can go to the store in the morning and get a cup of coffee, and I'm in line with a bunch of young people that have 2 and 3 of these monster things, and I want to call it these drinks. I'm like, what do you need that for?
They don't need it.
They don't need it.
There's
All right.
no reason for a adolescent or young adult to be fatigued.
Right.
So they don't need an energy drink ever.
Because Josh knows, right, Josh? I'm the oldest in the group, right? Not a one of you can keep up with me. I'm not putting you on the spot, but you know that, right? They know that. They can't keep up with me. Anyhow, that's a good segue out.
Get out.
I'm getting in trouble now, too. There's your tie. Dr. William Whaley, Ask the Doc. And listen, we want your questions. You send those to info, I-N-F-O, at fetchyournews.com. Put in the subject line, Ask the Doc. And we'll get them over to Dr. Whaley. Also, look for us on all the social media. Fetch Your News on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we always have Ask the Doc promos on there. If you want to put something on that, we search those throughout the week. Get your questions there. So send your questions to Ask the Doc at info@fetchyournews.com. Also, if you like this information, great information Dr. Whaley brings every week. We have a playlist on our...
Put the poo chart on the website.
No poo chart. No poo chart.
I'm leaving it for you, though.
The poo, we're going to discuss the poo chart in the next segment. I hope that was wrong. Let me wrap this up, okay? So anyhow, if you would like to share these segments with your friend, go to our YouTube channel, Fetch Your News, FYN TV. Look for the playlist, Ask the Doc. Share them with your friends. They're all there. And again, we thank North Georgia Cancer Research Specialist affiliated with Northside Hospital always for this segment. We're out. We're going to discuss a different kind of poo chart right after these messages. What a segue.
Yeah.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back and we're at Sycamore Crossing in downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. Love these beautiful Friday mornings. I tell you what, and we have 4th of July week coming up. This is our last show before the 4th of July. Now I'll let everybody know before we start, anybody that's available, we will have a show next Friday. Okay, we will have a show here next Friday, but this is time for the All-Star Political Panel. We wish Bruce and Barb well as they're traveling, and we thank Richie for coming up last week. And hey, you know, you have that discussion during the break. Anyhow, so, oh, by the way, welcome. Yeah, right. Oh, by the way, glad to have you.
I'm so glad.
So we're glad to have, and many of you know, Joeen is with us this morning, and Rick and Jane, and we went boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, and we understand it may offend you that I've identified genders this morning, but that's the way we went. And did you watch 2 nights? There's 4 hours I cannot get back. Did you watch 2 nights of the Democrat show? I have just come this morning to decide there was nothing debate about it. I have moderated several debates, nothing debate about it, and it just is a great morning that Dr. Whaley brought me my poo chart. So we're going to translate that to the Democrat poo chart. That's what we're doing this morning. We're going to analyze the Democrat poo chart.
Yeah.
Now, if you were out there and you were using ugly words, you would talk about the bull sh asterisk asterisk the last 2 nights, but we're going to say, so Dr. Whaley has given me a lead in by my poo chart, so that's our fun thing.
Well, we're here up to here in poo. I'll tell you that.
we're up
we
to
got
here.
A lot to talk about.
So I got to share this now. Many of you out there, you see us on Friday, and we appreciate the kind words we get from Florida and other areas throughout the week, but you see us on Fridays and you don't really know how well we know each other, so we want to be careful not to say some things that you wouldn't understand, we'll put it that way. So if you've watched the show, Jane has now a new segment called Stomping Around the Kitchen. So I was stomping around the kitchen this week, okay? So it's really funny. So this week something was going on, and they're going to explain it, and it had happened, and I said, oh God, Jane is stomping around the kitchen about now, and the next thing I know, my phone rings, and it's Joeen. So Joeen was not stomping around the kitchen, but almost in the same frame.
She was coming out of her seat.
So it's coming out of her seat. Okay, we got that coming out. So Jane, we're going to start with you. Rick, you just look good there. You don't look bad, so you look good for the camera. You're a regular. You too. You got Jane. Start with what caused you to stomp around, and then we're going to go to Joeen. What's caused you to stomp around the kitchen this week?
You know, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. What they say is unbelievable. It is so unbelievable. It's like this afternoon it's going to be 85 degrees, and they will go on. It's like them going on and saying it's snowing out here. It's a blizzard. You got to believe it. That's a fact. It's that absolutely ridiculous. It's that ridiculous. And I got so upset listening to it, I couldn't listen. I had to go for the headlines the next morning. I had to turn it off.
I can see that. I mean,
yeah, everything they said was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, one guy said, I wish I knew their names. You guys do. I don't give a heck what their names are. I do not care. But one thing that sticks out in my mind is he said, when I'm president, I'm going to create more jobs than this country's ever seen. I'm going to get this economy back in order. And I'm sitting there saying, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to do it differently? Things like that. I don't know.
They have no idea how the economic engine even runs to be able to make a statement.
Well, no.
So
what's unfair is they get up there and they can say anything they want, and there's no accountability, and they're not taking into account whether or not they have a Republican or Democrat Congress. And so you might want to do X, but if you can't get Congress to do it, then all of this is just for nothing. It's no different than when Donald Trump, he immediately put proposals out there to fix health care, to fix immigration, to build the wall, to do all kinds of things, and couldn't get it through Congress. And so he became unable to do some of the things that he was elected to do. And so to get up there and say, I'm going to do this and this and this, and we're going to have health care for all, and we're going to, it just doesn't, and people sit there and believe it when there's no plan to actually do it. It's very frustrating.
Did you hear anything, Jane? And it's I understand. I want to ask it this way, but did you hear anything out of the 20 candidates that are seeking the Democrat nomination? Did you hear one single thing that you said, you know what, intellectually I want to hear some more? Did you hear anything?
Let me say this. I heard Rush say a while back he didn't think Kamala Harris had a chance. She was a no starter. But I disagree with everything that comes out of her mouth. But I think she's the front runner. She certainly was last night. She is impressive. She's thought it all out, even though it's bizarre, and makes a good point and keeps her cool, and I think she's pretty bright. So that's about the only...
I've got something.
What do you got?
Well, the guy Delaney from Maryland on the...
Yeah, that same question. I want to hear, and Rick, I'm going to actually let you get in on this, okay? But no, I wanted to hear from you if you heard anything. Kamala Harris, did you hear anything? Let's stay with that question. Who was it? Delaney, former congressman of Maryland.
Yes.
His dad was a union electrician. He had started businesses. Go.
Yes, okay. When they were talking about the socialized medicine, he said something that was so profound and poignant, that was extremely important, that
Oh, I know what he said. Go.
Hear.
You go. Keep going, girl.
That they have done surveys of hospitals, and that if all they're going to receive is the Medicare reimbursement,
they'd be bankrupt.
They would all have to close.
Absolutely.
And I have been talking to doctors for the past year and a half now, asking basically the same question about socialized medicine, and that if all of their payments were Medicare payments, they would find other jobs. They would retire now. My orthopedic surgeon is 50 years old. He said he would not work. He could not afford to work. And who will go to med school? Right? What doctor, what person will go to 7 years of education and residency and all the other stuff they have to do to end up making $75,000 a year? You know, I mean, and incur all of those, you know, the student loans that, of course, they'll be forgiven.
Never have. Well, I want to go back in a minute to Kamala Harris, because I understand what you're saying, because, and I want to get into this. I want to ask Rick what he heard in the last 2 nights that he kind of maybe was interested in, whether, and I get it. It's not we agree with them is what was interesting. Yeah. So I want to go back to that, and I am going to lay this out for in a minute. Kamala Harris, what she was doing last night was not trying to answer questions in a debate. She was trying to look like the person that could stand next to Trump in a debate. You with me?
Yep. Yes.
That's what she was doing.
She was setting her course, getting her...
I'm the one, if you look.
Yeah.
And see, and of all people, she took on the head person.
Which was smart. Which was smart, yeah.
No,
in 2 nights, she's the only one that
the little kid that changed his diaper. He did say, you know, pass the torch.
Pass the torch.
Let me go back to this.
Insignificant.
Yeah,
what is his name in Maryland?
Delaney.
Did you notice after he said that they basically cut his mic?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
They did.
And they did not go back to him because there's 2 things Delaney said.
Exactly.
No, there's 2 things Delaney said that I'm going to say it because if you didn't watch the 2 nights, why did we need to say pissed? I mean, for me, it's like I'll say damn before I say. I don't want to go around and say. Did you notice the Democrats for 2 nights they were trying to say they were pissed? Did you hear that? Like, we're pissed. So anyhow, what really makes the left angry with this hate that they have, Delaney said, "Let's take what's right and keep it and fix the rest." Yes. The Democrats want you to believe nothing is right. Yeah. That got him in big trouble because he actually implied something could be right there. Well, and then, wait a minute.
Take Obamacare and fix it.
Well, no, but he said let's in government general. Let's take what's good and fix. That got him in big trouble. And his hospital comment. Yeah. He said the minute he said if everybody gets Medicaid payments, they're going to close.
Yes.
And that ended all. Yes. So Rick, let me get to you. In the 2 nights, who was the candidate that, you know, not that you agree with? I think we all understand where I'm going with that. But yeah, just you go interested in, said, hey, I would like to hear some more.
Kamala Harris came out, and you know her sole mission last night, I believe, was to try to take down Biden, and she succeeded. He basically quit. He said, "My time. I'm not going to talk about segregationists anymore.
Yeah,
my time is
up."
You
can't ask me about Iran. No,
I'm done.
No, I don't think he did say it, but I'm going to put it in a different way. 2 times he was very thankful that he honored his time was up.
Yeah.
He made it look like I honor my time is up.
Get me out of here.
Right, before I
He's
say
a quitter.
something
He's done.
Oh, he's an
He is
idiot.
absolutely
Do you
done.
think he's done?
Yeah.
All right, now Rush said that, and I've had some disagreement.
I'm still sticking with it. He's done.
All right, I disagree. Rush said he's done after the ABC report. He said he's finished. Now,
hasn't
Rush
even
did.
come
Rush
to the surface yet.
I know, but Rush did not put a timeline on that. So, Rush could be right that he's done. I didn't say. See, I even last night thought there was a whole lot of cover for him.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris.
This morning,
Okay.
too. Now, I got 2 things.
First of all, you do know Kamala Harris is not African American.
Exactly.
She's just trying to play the part.
She's an Indian.
Right. She's trying to play a part. Number one. And I don't know. I don't do
What's your
well
name,
with.
sister?
I don't do well with angry white women and angry black women. Jane, reel it in, baby.
She's Pocahontas' sister.
No, not a woo-woo Indian. A red dot Indian.
It works.
All right, the 2 of you, stop it right now. Anyhow, I think.
Donuts and
First
Slurpees.
of all, Elizabeth Warren on the first night played angry white woman, and she played angry black woman. First of all, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, but do you, and just say yes or no? I'll be like Chuck Todd. Don't use your
raise
timing.
hands.
Yeah, raise your hands. Do you understand the busing issue in America in the 70s? Do you understand that issue? Do you?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Busing. Do you think the American people understood what she said last night?
Zero.
Okay.
No. I mean, she talked about being bused in the 70s, and people are going,
Hello.
"Oh,
Are you
Are
complaining?
you taking a bus to work?"
No, she was taking a school
Well,
bus.
of course.
Right.
But
All
it's
kids take
irrelevant.
a school bus now.
It's
they don't
irrelevant.
walk even through
Because
the
what Biden
got them
and
to
God, I want to make sure the audience knows I am not here to defend Joe Biden in any way. But what Biden did in that vote was not siding with segregationists. He was voting to say that the Department of Education, the federal government, did not need to come in and tell North Carolina, to tell Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, to tell the United States that they had to bus. And that's I want to make that simple, but it is, because I understand busing. I moved into an area, and and I don't understand this. I moved into an area, and I didn't know any. In the Northeast, we didn't know what busing. We didn't know anything about busing. Okay, so when I moved into the South, I moved into a not all white, so I don't want that messed up, but a predominantly white area where I can't help it. That's where a lot of white people live there. Don't know how you're going to take that. But I thought the little grade school down the street, because where I grew up, you went to your local grade school, community grade school. So I thought the local grade school down the street, okay, was going to be where my daughter went to school. And so I went over to sign, we moved there, I went over to sign my daughter up for 4th grade, and they looked and said, "What's your address?" And I gave them my address, and they said, "Your daughter won't go to school here." I said, "My house is a quarter mile from here.
Right.
If the bus breaks down, back in the day, we walked to this school." "What do you mean? Where does she go to school?" "Oh, she goes to school here."
20 miles away.
"That's right." I said, "Excuse me?" "She goes to school here." "Why?" Now, I did not go up, for anybody thinking racially, I did not go up and live in this area or want her to go to that school for any racial reason whatsoever, because I grew up in a diverse neighborhood in Northeast, so that was never my issue. But then she was bused 20 miles at least. So she could be one of 6 kids in an all-black 4th grade. You understand?
We do.
So I don't want to go there, but America, hey, anybody understand that? So you thought the Kamala Harris, I'm going to give you my guy, all right? 2 nights, ready? Not agree with, but the guy that I would love to sit down and just talk to for an hour. Yang. I want to meet Yang. I want to sit down and talk to the guy. I would talk to him for an hour. Because do I agree with everybody getting $1,000 a month? No. But
he's a bright individual.
Absolutely.
He's
So,
a very bright
go
guy.
back to something else.
The Drudge Report poll this morning, which was already closed when I looked at it, Yang was number 1.
Really?
Yes.
He won the debate. I don't know how that is. He hardly got a chance to ever speak. And the newspaper lady, Williamson or whatever, was number 3.
Oh well.
She's gonna overpower Trump with love.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mackerel. So
the thing that's just blaring in my brain right now. One little point is that when they said, "What do you think when you're president? What will be the most important thing you do after you're president?" Biden says, "Beat Trump."
Yeah.
I mean, he'd already be president. I mean, he is a dummy. He is a dummy.
He's dumb as a brick.
But he's dumb as a brick.
So wait a minute. Let me give a little vote
point.
here. Does Biden stay in? Does he just lose? Does he what? No, one at a time. Biden, stay focused on Biden. Is he done, Joanne, and how long? Or is he their candidate?
I am not sure that he will be the candidate, but he's still going to be up there, and he will not drop out. He spent too much time working on this, and he's got too much money, and so he made a couple of gaffes. That's never bothered him in the past. I don't think he'll even notice what he said.
That's the point.
Okay, go ahead.
I hope like crazy he stays in.
Yeah.
But I think when he starts to get drummed in Iowa, and he'll see the light, and he'll drop out.
You think so?
I do.
All right. You. Does Biden stay
I
in?
think he's the fair-haired boy for the Democratic people now. I think he is. I think they're gonna lose their affection for him because he's just so idiotic and stupid. He is unsmart.
Unsmart.
I mean, he is unsmart. I mean, that's a better way than stupid.
I'll go with that.
So he's going to, he'll come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day, but he's going to go right downhill, and they're going to have no choice, even though they're going to
idiotic, stupid, unsmart. This is the reason I always keep my English teacher right next to me.
Those are big words,
You
right?
keep going.
Yeah, they keep. So he's not going to make it. He will not be the nominee. But I'm like Rick. I wish he were, because Trump would eat him alive. He would spit
All right, take
him
that.
out.
All right, take that. Stop. Anybody in 2 nights. I'm doing like Chuck Todd. We're up against the time, so don't get all wordy, okay?
Your hair is not brushed forward.
Anybody in 2 nights did you see that actually can go head-to-head with Trump and you feel stands a chance?
Well, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I was extremely impressed with Kamala Harris. And she has, if you try to picture her and Hillary, I mean, Hillary, who's so washed up and would stand there with all that trite stuff over and over. This woman had fire. She had her facts together. But she came across as assertive but not angry. Okay. She was reasoned,
composed.
I think she could look Trump in the eye and argue with him, and I don't think anyone else up there could, and I think she would not lose her cool.
2 nights.
Did anybody sitting here see anybody the first night?
Not a one.
Other than Julian Castro, maybe?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Castro is still wanting to approve abortions for transgender women.
I totally
figure
understand.
that out.
Yeah, figure that.
He's the one that stood out, though, according to the polls. But nobody from the first night. I mean, that was really the JV, if you want to talk about JV.
Yeah.
There's nobody on the first night that I thought was
All right, well, wait a minute.
formidable.
The question. So you're having difficulty. I'm going to give you an additional 10 seconds to answer. I'm going to give you an additional 10 seconds to answer the question that we were originally asked you, okay? Did you see anybody in 2 nights that could stand up and go head-to-head with Donald J. Trump?
No. I'm going with Donnie Deutsch. Not one candidate of the 20 that are up there can compete.
It scares me that you and I both agree with Donnie. Okay. What about you?
Well, no, I think Kamala right now is the one that's outstanding. But I don't think any of them can beat Donald.
Do you think she comes out as the front runner today?
Well, I didn't. I taped all that. I told you,
Who
but I
will
could
the
not
media-
watch it. I watched the little things this morning, but she was strong.
We have this crazy illusion, we do, that actually people advance based on, their performance and who they are. That's an illusion. So who is the media? Because this belongs to the media. It don't belong
that's
to the
a
American
different
people.
question.
Who
Can I
will
say
the
something
media?
real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
We've been at this, 20 minutes, 25 minutes? Not one time has any of us mentioned Bernie Sanders.
I did.
When?
You did?
I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear
I don't think
you.
I heard you.
No, I don't think you did.
No.
You didn't mention Bernie Sanders, and
I didn't hear you say
anybody
Bernie Sanders
Josh,
once.
play it
And
back.
that's the second guy in the.
We're going to go back to the tape. No,
Yeah.
no, I
That's the
agree with you.
Second guy in the food chain, and no one has talked.
Not
None
a
of us
word.
have talked about Bernie Sanders.
Okay, so
He came across angry and washed up, and his
who is the media going to push to the front? Because
Yeah,
let me
that's
just
the
say, let me
question.
just say this: if you think for 1 minute that the DNC is not corrupt, if you think for 1 minute my belief today is the DNC has decided Joe Biden, okay. If you think for 1 minute that I don't think that the DNC and the media is still trying to push him and take care of him, I think these are getting things out of the way. Kamala Harris went after him on his segregation. It's out of the way. I think these, to
It's the
me,
plan.
it's things out of the way. Okay, is my opinion, and it's still in a year and a half away. So it does. But I don't know. But what I'm saying is, who do you think the media is going to make the front runner and try to crown in this? I want to change subjects too.
Yeah, I've got so much I want to say.
I know, but what is? We'll get to what you want to say, but I need these quick answers. Who is the front runner today, according to the media? Who do you think they'll take out?
Who they'll choose, who they want to
Yes.
build
Yes.
I think they're still putting their money on Biden. He makes that. I mean, I realize that they've got him so controlled that he doesn't say much. They try to keep him away from places. He didn't do himself any good last night, and he had a bunch of miscues, but nothing really significant. It'll all disappear in a short period of time. He makes that appearance, and he's got connections with all of the inroad. I mean, he's connected to everybody.
He's deep state.
Will he still be the front runner? Or what do you think, or who will be the new front runner?
Well, he'll be the front runner by default because I don't think the polls can come up that quickly.
Do you think he'll be the front
Well,
runner?
one reason they're going to keep pushing him, the deep state and the media, is that he knows where the bodies are buried, and he not only knows where the bodies
She
are buried.
says it every week.
He is
Jane
a body.
said- yes.
He is a body. He's in it to hear, and they know he knows.
She just said they can control him. You say that every week.
I've already
Jane says
said
that
it.
every
He
week.
is this because he's so dumb.
As much as I dislike Perez, I don't understand why he's latching on to Biden like he does. The DNC chair.
Well,
because
listen, there's so
the
much going on in
DNC
the
chair was
background.
put in by somebody. Let's not go down that road. You're not with us that often. You visit from time to time, and every Friday we get a chance to do this, and so you do have a lot to say. So, what did you bring in some of your notes to make sure that you get a couple of the subjects in you want to talk about?
I just think after listening to the last 2 nights and all that we've been listening up until this point, is as conservative Republicans, we have a job to do to educate the younger people that are under 45 in this country. If you look at who voted for whom in these polls, it's obviously the young people are still impressed with the messages that they receive. And there are people who clapped over reparations, okay? I mean, like, reparations, like, who would be paying the reparations and to whom, right? There is no one that's a slave in the United States, and there's no one in the United States that has owned a slave. And 80 or 90% of the people that were purchased and brought here as slaves were either enslaved in Africa. Most of the ones coming.
It was already a slave trade.
Came from Angola, or they were prisoners of war. The slaves would have remained slaves, and prisoners of war would have been executed at some point in those camps that they had them in. So if they hadn't been brought to the United States, all right, and I'm not supporting slavery, and I'm not saying that it was right. It's something that happened in our past, but everyone that came here is better off, right? And so who would owe money to whom? And all of the African Americans whatever we're calling people, minority people, all the people that are Hispanic are also going to be paying these reparations to each other. I mean, it's like, who is paying?
Don't forget, many blacks own slaves. Did you know that? So blacks pay blacks, we pay blacks, they pay them. I mean, give me a break.
And do you know how many hundreds of thousands, and back then that was a large percent of the population, white people came over here as indentured servants from Ireland and Scotland and England, and they worked servitude for 15 to 30 years in inns and in blacksmith shops, etc. So they were indentured servants also.
Right.
Are they entitled to reparations?
But that didn't sell. Did you notice in the last 2 nights? No, it didn't sell. In the last 2 nights, it didn't come up.
And
it was very down.
Right, and the other thing is on the student debt, the loan forgiveness.
Never happened.
Okay? I mean, like, I know so many people that didn't go to college because they couldn't afford to incur the debt. All right, they made a decision. They went and sought a trade and became valuable employees of or their own businesses or whatever. Now you find out that you could have incurred all of this debt and it will be forgiven. And Bernie Sanders' opinion, you know, his plan is that it doesn't have anything to do with income. So even if you incurred $250,000 going to law school or med school, that will be forgiven. But who's paying this? All these people that didn't get a college education, you're going to be paying now your share of all of the doctors and lawyers and whatever. That,
relax.
You know,
I'm in the kitchen already.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
But people need to understand what it means. It sounds nice to have all the student loan debt forgiven, but all the millions of people that didn't get a college education because they were responsible, you know, they're going to now be paying for all of the people that now have the higher paying jobs. It makes no sense.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. However, all they're doing is pandering.
Yes.
The reality is this will never happen,
exactly,
Jolene.
but
It'll never happen.
We need to explain that to people because people were voting last night based on that. And wait a minute, if they truly want to do something about education, the reason that tuition is so expensive is, do you know how many, if you look at all of the schools and look at their budgets, they have all these professors that make $400,000 to $600,000 a year that don't teach, okay? And they spend millions and millions, if you look at their budgets, on things that have nothing to do with educating the students. So if they took away all of their tax deductions, okay, so that they couldn't just pay all this money because they can deduct it, you know, on their taxes, they would have to be more responsible. The tuition would be less, and people wouldn't be incurring all of these loans.
Tell us how you really feel. No, wait, no, don't. That was totally... Hell no, not right now.
Do you really think that student loans are all going to be forgiven at any time in our lifetime, in the next generation's lifetime? Do you really think that's going to happen?
No, but that doesn't mean that people won't vote for someone they think is going to do that.
Exactly, that was what they did. I told you, didn't I tell you when we started I had a rabbit trail? Yep. Now I'm going to go down. And I'm going to get time for my rabbit trail. So
well,
ready?
I get to say something. You get to say.
Yeah, you get.
What time is it?
Don't worry. Just keep it. Don't worry. Now let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. Don't interrupt. I know these three. Okay. So, back when Barack Obama was president of the United States, see, I feel the deep state has known this all along. Back when Barack Obama, they're going to tell you every day that we did not have the people coming to the border when Obama was president. The numbers weren't as high, all the above, okay? Don't say a word. So back when Obama and Biden are president, we had our conspiracy theory, which I was on the train watching it, and we had wonder why all of these Walmarts down along the border, all the way from Florida to Arizona, now this is right, were being remodeled. They were shut down. All of a sudden they were shut down, right? They were all shut down, okay? And everybody was shut down, and they were going to be they were going to be camps for us. They were going to put us in there, but we didn't know why. And we had an Arizona outside of Phoenix Walmart. They shut it down on one day, didn't tell anybody, run all these people, new plumbing, everything like that, right?
Right.
So it's all across the border. A lot of these big box stores were shut down, and all of a sudden, nobody knew what they were doing. They just went and got permits, right? Okay, we'll go with that. Guess what? They are full of what? People we've detained crossing the border. Are they not?
Yep.
How did they know 5 and 6 years ago that they needed to close those down at the border and get those ready to detain people coming across the border in massive numbers?
Well, that was the.
Now that's how the hell? Because they keep talking about this Homestead, Florida is, it's an old Walmart, right? So how the hell did they know 6 years?
6 years ago they thought.
You understand where I'm going with that?
But I'm going to tell you why they were empty and why the people are in them instead of us right now. Because when they started renovating these things, they thought Hillary's going to win, and we might already be in those camps. But if Hillary won, Hillary didn't. Plan B was Soros and all them. Then we're going to invade the country. So they had to just change their plans just a little bit. Is what happened, I believe. That's just my own theory.
I believe I don't disagree with you.
I mean, it's a
to
theory,
the point, but we all have a theory. I believe all along they knew what was happening today.
You mean they knew about the invasion?
What do you think?
If you go back, you can go back all the way to the Clinton administration.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really want to get some interesting reading, go to the Flores Doctrine. Flores was the young woman that all the lawsuits were about.
Mm-hmm.
Started in 85 and ended up in 1997. That's what this is all about. The Clintons were the ones that said we need to silently start moving more people in so that we can get Democrat voters. And if you...
No, it's not voters, because they can't vote.
Well, yes, they are going to be. They will be able to vote.
They can lie about it, but the thing is, the census, which is why when they wouldn't let us
they're
put
going to get counted
on there, but they get counted so they get more representation, and that's
more money.
Why California is a sanctuary state.
I know.
I tell you what, I think we should do.
Doesn't mean they include.
This is not a joke. I think we should do another segment this week, and I know I tell you why. Because we need to talk about the corrupt John Roberts Supreme Court. Okay,
Lord.
We've got to really bring up. You want to talk about rabbit trails? You're never going to convince me they don't know something on John Roberts, and that they did. You're right. But they invoked it again this week.
Yeah, yes.
They evoke it when they want Roberts to flood.
Obamacare.
We haven't got to that.
Right.
We haven't got to the camps. Down there, soap and water. We didn't even get to the daggone. Everybody raised their hand and said they want illegals to have
healthcare.
Honey,
what the hell?
Notice how many times last night they mentioned cages. That Obama built all of those ones.
He did.
Cages. However, they put those. They're not really cages. It was so that the children would be safe. They could
from
put
rapists.
Children in bed at night without having to worry about somebody crawling into bed with them.
Got it.
They were not
cages. We understand. We know that.
We know that.
I actually.
We need to educate people.
You're right, because in my closer, I've got a couple points. I hate to say it like this. We got to get the winners and losers.
Oh,
go ahead. You want first?
I've got a winner and loser, but did you see? I think it's true. AOC was in front of a chain link fence, crying. Oh, these children are killing me. It was all staged. She was looking at an empty parking lot. It was all staged. She wasn't down at the border. She wasn't looking at children. It's exposed. Will that ever be said again? No, probably not. So my whole thing that's been going in my mind is with Joey. If we don't do a better job of educating, these kids need to know what the heck socialism does. And the thing about it is, you think think everything's going to be free. No, go look at what Stalin did. I mean, everything's going to be great. We're going to be great. It's not great. And here's a point about teaching people. I'm trying to gather information I can tell to people out there, my friends, when you're talking with these socialist young people, something you can say that will make them think and not get angry. So and what you said today about, I didn't realize it, they turned off McLean's mic. Delaney. They actually turned off his mic. So listen to this. My point is, and what I just wrote down in one of my points to say to people is, yes, you think they're for you now, you're for them, you want free this, you want free that, but there's going to come a time they aren't going to be for you, and they're going to do to you what you want to do to us. And that happened last night. If that's what happened, if they turned his mic off, they turned on their own because their own wasn't sticking to the socialistic line right down the line. They turned his mic off. I mean, that's what they're going to do to all of them.
And Bernie Sanders last night, he said that what his plan was on the socialized medicine, when they asked him, is it going to raise taxes for the middle class? And he goes on, there won't be any more co-pays, you won't have to pay for insurance, you won't have to pay for this, and there won't be deductibles.
You will have to pay taxes.
You will pay more taxes, he says, but you're crossing.
One way or the other.
At Canada or England, right, where
talking to the choir,
is 55%.
I got it.
We got it.
Winners and losers. Did you give your
winner?
winner?
Yeah, the winner.
The
winner. Oh, the winner. Who's that fabulous guy? David Bellavia, who got the Medal of Honor. I watched the whole ceremony. He from the Afghanistan War. He's the first living recipient from Afghanistan War to receive the Medal of Honor. He saved his whole platoon. He risked his life many times. He saved them. It is breathtaking to listen to. And I sat there and I watched this man, and people were saying things, and he was so humble. And I watched what he did for our country, and I think about those damn Democrats that are up there trying to pull us down and absolutely obliterate our country. And that's when I walked through the kitchen, I went in the living room, I went in the bathroom. I mean, you know how passionate.
Was that the winner and loser? Did you put it together?
He's the winner.
Okay.
I'm not going for a loser.
All right, Rick.
I'm with him on losing.
Okay. All right, my winner, and it should have been weeks ago, but I think it's relevant now. Burgess Owens, his house testimony. He's an ex-NFL football player.
Yes.
Black. When he talked about reparations, he was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Folks, look it up, because you will absolutely see from a black man's point of view the way it really should be. My loser, and she's going to make the all-star list, is AOC again. She's a weekly loser. When she said that she wanted to vote against ever having the daylight saving time because it's another hour of the sun being out and it's heating up the planet, and we've only got 10 years to go.
The sun being out like it's going to change this. I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah. Do you really ever just stop and think what she's saying? That's my loser.
Winner and loser.
Well, I'm not really into the winners and losers, but on the AOC thing, I was going to call about her comment on not making the beds for the illegal kids that were housing. And then I thought, let her just keep on doing the tweets, because she's going to run for something when she's old enough. And we've got so many things out there to show how stupid that she is and how ignorant. But my loser really is going to be the United States if we don't wake up. If there's any chance that a Democrat, a socialist type Democrat, would get elected, we'll be a third world country in 5 to 10 years. And because they're going to open up the border. Did you see how many raised their hand about not by decriminalizing coming across the border?
Decriminalizing.
Castro.
Okay.
Yes. All of them did.
All right. I got to move it along. I think we should do another segment soon. Really, no joke. We didn't get into the Supreme Court. I want to say some things really quick. The two of you, thank you so much. You were a big help to me last week, Jane and Rick. You guys came down last Wednesday, and last week on the panel, you moved it right along. So I want to thank both of you very much for what you did in helping me out. In the last 2 nights, the question was crisis. What is the crisis in America? And I sit there and I was waiting for one person. I was hoping one person would actually dig deep into the crisis and the many we have in America. And we heard climate change. Crisis. It's a crisis. So let me tell every one of the Democrat candidates, when you were asked, describe the leading crisis in America today, however it is, and you said climate change, I'm going to flip that. Let me tell you what a crisis is in America today. A crisis is a grandmother receiving a phone call. A grandmother gets a phone call and says, we have your 3 grandchildren here at Family Services because your daughter or your son, A, was dealing some sort of methamphetamine drug or opiate, was taking, is in trouble with these drugs, and we had no choice but to take your grandchildren out of that home. And the grandmother is down there today trying to get her 3 grandchildren out of Family Services and trying to figure out what to do with their son, daughter, son-in-law, niece, or nephew that is in a total mess with heroin, opiates, and all the long list, methamphetamines. That's a crisis in America. Not what damn temperature it is this afternoon. I tell you what, every one of you damn people, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. I'm sorry. Second thing is, this past week, here would have been a nice question on abortion. They were all asked abortion question. But why didn't a true, real media, a true, real journalist look at these candidates and say, on this day, on a radio station in public, the Virginia governor said, quote, hey, after the child is born, we will wrap it, keep it comfortable, and have a discussion with the mother. This past week at the Faith and Freedom Coalition, the President of the United States said that was no longer abortion, that was now execution. 1, do you support the Virginia Governor Ralph Northern in his statement? And 2, do you agree with the President that it is now execution, or would you allow that? That may be real questions, but you're not going to hear them. Crisis in America? Really? Climate change? We'll be back with Jesse Barton, All-Star... No, this is the All-Star Political Panel. Jesse Barton, North Georgia Senior Living, Community Relations Director, Cameron Hall, LJ. Got it all. Take us out.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked and LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked and LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back and we're in Blue Ridge, Georgia, Sycamore Crossing, and it's time for North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall and Ellijay. Jesse, how are you?
Good. It's so pretty out here. Can we just spend the rest of the day out here?
I'm telling you, right? Just grab a chair. We got new furniture.
I know.
Now, let me say, because you have props today.
I have props.
Okay, so.
And you're wearing khakis, and I'm wearing jeans and tennis shoes. I didn't get the memo to dress up.
I'm not dressed up. Moving right along. Let me just say this. I want to say this really quick. Last week, I want to tell you how much I enjoyed your segment with Lauren Hunter. The two of you did an outstanding job. It was great. So I want to tell you, I just really enjoyed your segment last week with you and Lauren.
Thank you.
So I'm back. I don't know how.
We're glad to have you back, but we did enjoy Lauren last week. She did a great job.
Good move.
Yep.
So what you have props? So
I have props,
I
but
don't
you
want
have
to
some props that can help too.
Well, I just have my water bottle.
Yes.
Well, tell me then. Okay.
Granted,
Is that
it is
a
Atlanta Braves. We're
Oh
on
my
fire
gosh.
this year.
Oh my
chop,
gosh.
chop, chop. But what's inside is what's the prop.
On a daily basis, I like to go. Let's just see how can I put this so nice and not offend all my Braves. I love to hear the cheers on one day and the crying on the next. The cheers and the crying. All right, anyhow.
Well,
you
if we're
Brave
talking about
fans,
our pitching, we might need to start crying, but we're going to forget
all right,
about that.
You Brave fans, which I love all of you out there, and I'm not anti-Braves, period, but I'm not a Brave fan. I want to be official. But you guys can cheer and cry faster than any people I've ever met. But we'll move right along. Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Things are going well. Let's leave it alone.
Yes.
Today is
Let's
today.
not jinx it.
And then what did I see? I know this is not a daggone Braves segment, but it's going around the internet, Josh, that they could have as many as 7 players on the starting lineup for the All-Star team. Yeah.
Yes. We
You have 2. All right,
for
so
sure.
there was so you have 2 starters. Do you know how many Braves have, this is not a sports segment, I'm sorry.
Sunday is when they announce reserves.
Okay.
Freeman and Acuna made it to the starters.
Well, I figured you would know.
They're on fire. Those
All right,
two.
get to your
Yeah.
props. Don't
All
come here and do
right.
any more Brave segments.
This may be a new show idea.
I like it.
Only if you send me to SunTrust Park for interviews.
We don't have time. Yeah, for sure. Got it.
So, this is not a growler that has adult beverages in it. This is my water bottle, and I see you've got your water bottles, and I've got my extra water. So, why do I have water? Why do you think we have water today?
I don't know.
I set them up good because I didn't email them the subject ahead of time. So, yesterday was super duper hot, probably in the 90s.
Yes.
Dehydration is a huge topic, not only for seniors. So this can kind of go for my other audience from my health coaching standpoint, but dehydration is a huge thing that happens with seniors. People just don't drink enough water. I'm glad to see you have your water bottles. This is a half gallon, so I load it up with my ice and carry it with me. I have this sitting on my desk because this is a little hard to drink out of when you're at your desk, but dehydration is a huge issue that affects not only seniors but everybody, but seniors in particular are prone to this. As we age, we become dehydrated quicker. So we need to keep water going. So I don't know if you've noticed as you have aged, as I've aged, I've noticed that I get thirstier and I need more water. So medications can make you dehydrate quicker. And when you're dehydrated, your functions, your body organs stop functioning as well. Your cells stop functioning as well. So I am here to stress the importance of water, water, water.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, that's a very simple subject. It's something that somebody could say, okay, really? So you decide to tell me I need to drink water, but I know a lot of people that just do not drink an adequate amount of water, and I know they say to me, well, it's none of my business. It is none of my business, but as you age, dehydration, water, and just put it like this. Some do, but most Americans don't have a Monday through Friday pill dispenser in their 20s.
Right.
So one of the things that's not on the kitchen counter is a Monday through Friday pill dispenser, right?
Sure. Sorry.
It's really not there in your 30s. Most don't have that dispenser still yet, but start maybe taking a medication in your 40s.
Probably.
And about the time you get in your 50s, and we're not discussing myself or anybody like that, but that's when you get a daily pill dispenser, and you may have an AM side and a PM side.
You might have a 3 times a day side.
You may have an AM, noon, and but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why, and then, it continues to where if you're, 70, 80 years old, some people are on several medications that for several different things. Now, the reason I say that, I will guarantee without looking it up, as you progress with medications, your need for increasing your water intake just continues to grow along with that.
Sure.
Is that correct?
Well, and especially because there are so many medications that you need that water. Some of our medications make it to where we dehydrate quicker. They deplete us of our water.
Right.
So really check your medications, no matter what your age, really. Check your medications. Make sure that you are getting the amount of adequate water that you need. They say a good guideline that I use in my health coaching is to take your body weight and divide it by 2. So for easy's sake, we'll just say 180. Divided by 2, that's 90. So you need 90 ounces of water in a day. A half gallon is 64. So if you're aiming for, between a half gallon and a gallon a day, you should be getting good, unless you're outside doing physical activity. A lot of times this time of year, especially in this heat, we wait till the middle of the day to go outside, and we sweat when we're in the garden. We're working outside in our garden, picking our vegetables, and we lose water through sweat, and so we don't always replenish that. The other thing is, as we age, we lose our thirst sensors, and so we don't realize we're thirsty until it's too late. So if you are older and start realizing you're thirsty, you are way close to dehydration at that point.
Well, I agree with everything you said. I always, when I make the comment, I agree with everything. I always pause a little bit and just double check. Okay.
What did she say?
Did you agree with everything? But I agree with everything you just said, because hydration, there's medication that will pull water out, dehydrate you, and it's very important. And I know when you say a gallon and people say, really, somebody's going to drink that much water? I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I
fill this up twice a day.
Yeah, I drink that much water. So, Jesse Barton is the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall in Ellijay. So really quickly, how can people get in touch with you? And tell us just briefly what you do down at Cameron Hall, and anything happening over the holiday week next week, and how to get in touch with you.
Well, you can find me at CameronHallofEllijay.com on the web. 706-515-4100 is my direct number. And what I do at Cameron Hall is, my main function is to help introduce you to assisted living, senior care, show you around our community, and help you decide if this is the right move or not. But my second role is I want to be a resource for our community. So as we've talked about in previous shows, I want to be the go-to expert for anything senior related. And if I don't know the answer, I will promise to find out.
And find quality caregivers in all areas of need.
Yes.
You will do that research and make sure you're not just giving anybody a name and number.
Absolutely.
And that I know about you, because I hear that all too many times. So when it comes to senior living, and we got to be able to trust.
Sure.
Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director, Cameron Hall, Ellijay. She has given you all the ways to get in touch with her. And yes, she wants to be your senior living liaison to the North Georgia mountains. We go with that?
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that costs right after this, because I already own that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's marketing. Sorry.
I'm going to get a huge bill in the mail.
No, there you go. Hey, love this segment, and you can too. Share it with your friends. If you love it, you can share it with your friends. Go to Fetch Your News YouTube. Go to YouTube, go to our Fetch Your News FYN TV channel, look for North Georgia Senior Living, and share these segments with your friend. It's time for Pet of the Week.
I think he ran off.
Where did my
He'll
Pet
be
of
back.
the Week go? Oh, we were talking about water? She's getting my pet water. There you go.
Pets need water too.
There you go. Pet of the Week, as soon as we return, Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Take us a break.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we're in Blue Ridge, Georgia at Sycamore Crossing. A beautiful way to end our Friday, always with, oh, look at you just sitting there all proud to be on TV. Look at you. We always end our week and our Friday show with the star of the week, and that is our Juno. Here. No, Juno wants to say hello. Our star of the show from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, Juno, is with us. Rena, we are talking, and we always do this every year. Thank you so much, one, for bringing our beautiful pet every week. The Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Let's do a couple public service announcements that we always do this time of year. Fireworks.
Oh my goodness. Yes, dogs are going to get scared during the fireworks, during any fireworks. They always start before the 4th and they always go after the 4th. Keep your dogs inside. Don't take them with you. Don't leave them outside. They get so nervous. They'll go over a fence, under a fence. They will try to escape from the noise. And
is this not like the biggest week of the year that we have lost dogs that were one of the biggest of the year?
Yeah, 4th of July and I think Memorial Day and New Year's Eve, you know, whenever the fireworks are. 4th of July,
if they are outside, even if they have an enclosed area, this is the week where they jump the fence.
Yes, they're going to get so nervous with all the noise. So protect your animal. Leave them in the house when you go enjoy the fireworks. Even if you take them with you, they're going to get scared. Keep them on a leash. Just better yet, leave them at home. And you enjoy it. That way they stay calm. There is calming medicine out there to help them through this time. And even the dogs at the shelter get scared, and you know, they'll get some calming meds before everybody leaves for the night. But just think about your dogs when it comes to the fireworks, because they're always scared of them. Fireworks, gunshots, anything at all with the loud noise, thunder, we were just talking about. What? You want to give me a kiss?
Okay, let's move on to, we were talking earlier about water, hydration for dogs during this heat. A lot of us don't, we stop and think, okay, I need water. If you went outside and you were out for a couple hours and you come in and the first thing you feel you need, or you come out of the heat because you feel, hey, I got to get out of the heat, I need something to drink, that's no different for your dog or your pet.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. And if you touch the concrete and it's hot to touch, it's hotter for them. So don't take them out in the middle of the day when it's hot. Check the concrete before you go walking them. In the car, just leave them at home. Leave them at home, because the car at 70 degrees, 75 degrees outside, the car inside can get over 100 and they will die. They will suffer and they will die. Just leave them at home during the summer. I know I love taking my dogs places, but in the summer they don't go. And I'm not going to leave them in the car. They can go, but they have to be with me. It's just a little ride. But I'm not going to leave them in the car.
The pads on their nice little puppy paws, they're actually, if you feel them, they're very tough, but they're actually more sensitive to things like hot surfaces. Yes, we're going to talk about you in just a second. They're awful. They're very sensitive to hot surfaces.
Yes, they will burn.
Yes.
Yes, and you will have to take them to the vet to get them treated. I mean, they will really get hurt in this heat, especially on the asphalt. So just think about your dog. You've got shoes on, your dog doesn't, and it's like walking barefoot. And just check it before you take them out and put them on concrete, and definitely leave them at home during the fireworks, because they will run and they will get lost, and then if you're going to be heartbroken.
Tell us a little bit about this beautiful animal today, Juno. What a beautiful dog. Tell us a little bit about Juno. How old is Juno? What kind of breed, and where do you think he will fit in family, children, all the above, other pets? Tell us a little bit about Juno.
Okay. Juno is about 3 years, 7 months old, going on 4. He's been with us. He will be with us a year come August. So in 2 months, he will be with us a year. We really need to find him a home. Him and his brother, Jinx, who I had here a few weeks back, they're both looking for homes. They don't have to go together. They are big dogs. Fenced-in yard is definite, unless you really want to, walk them every day. They do need some exercise, but in this heat, they don't stay out long because they have a black coat. They do shed. I would say kids are good. I don't know about cats. Other dogs, I don't know. It's iffy. He does like some at the shelter, and there's others that he doesn't want anything to do with. So if you have another dog and you're interested in Juno, you have to do a meet and greet. You have to do a meet and greet with all the dogs, but you have to do a meet and greet to see if they like each other. Kids, I believe, would be a lot of fun for him and for the child. He likes to go outside. He does like this rolling pin thing over here. And he does like toys. He chases them and brings them back, and he likes sitting in the shade. He's not really into the sun too much unless it's winter.
Well, you have a terrible poker face. You need to know that. You can never play poker because you just look too happy and too excited about things. Yes.
He's a lover. He gives you kisses. He rides very well in the vehicle. He walks very well on a leash. I'm going to take him downtown after we finish here and just get him used to being out again. They don't really get out of the shelter unless I bring him here to Pet Your News, which is a really good thing for them, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. But come on out and meet Juno, and Jinx is out there. Oscar's still there. Emma's puppies, I believe, are 3 weeks or 4 weeks old now, so they will be able to be viewed in 2 or 3 more weeks. They have to be old enough to where they can't get any diseases from people coming in, too many people handling them. Emma will be up for adoption as soon as she's done with her puppies. So we have lots of dogs, cats, kittens, puppies will be available. Emma had 8 of them, 4 female, 4 male. So go to our Facebook page and you can see the puppies and all of our wonderful dogs. And go to our website, humanesocietyofblueridge.org, and you will see all of our animals there. And like I said, follow us on Facebook, and you'll see Lost and Found Dogs and our dogs that need adopted, and the puppies, Emma's puppy pictures, and Emma's pictures.
Yeah, good.
And give us a call, 706-632-4357. We're open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday is 10 to 2. So come on out and see if you can add a companion to your home. And I'm telling you, Juno would be a great companion. He is a really great dog.
Want to thank you so much, Rena, for you taking this time to bring Juno and the Pet of the Week every week we close out with. Now, I want to say this really briefly, but years ago, I've always had dogs, always loved dogs, but years ago I did not really think dogs talk. Stay with me on this. But then I married this woman that always would tell me what the dog was saying. This dog's saying this. Okay, and I would say, the dog's not saying anything. Yes, the dog. What that dog is doing is telling you this. Okay, so where I'm getting with that is, I have become a believer in dogs talk. That's on video recorded. Okay, they can't. Now, if I ever run for political office, they got this crazy guy that believes dogs can talk. But I have become a believer that dogs can talk. So what I know happens out at the Humane Society throughout the week, they all talk and wonder who's going to get to go.
That's right.
They do. They're in the cages talking. Then on Thursday, you know it's Thursday, they all talk at night. You know, you better go to bed because you want to look good in the morning if you get to go on the show. That's what they all say. And then on Friday morning, they all get up to yip it. It's a really yippy Friday morning over at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, because they're saying, pick me, pick me, pick me, right?
That's right.
See, I know it.
And then when I walk in, they know why.
They know they're going.
I'm coming to get one of them.
So, Juno, we love you, baby. Let's find Juno forever home from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. We got to go. We'll be back next Friday. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day. God bless the USA. I'm out. See you Monday morning.